When you authenticate users and devices in a Windows environment, you need a secure and efficient way to verify their identity. Kerberos and NTLM are two authentication protocols used in Microsoft systems, but they operate differently and have different use cases. Let's discuss both the options. Let's understand NTLM first. NTLM, known as NTLM Manager, is a legacy authentication protocol that is still used in some cases. But it is not the default authentication method in modern Windows domains. Instead, Kerberos is preferred. How NTLM works? When a user logs into the Windows, their device hashes their password and sends it to the authentication server. The server issues a challenge, which the device encrypts using the password hash, and the server verifies the encrypted response to authenticate the user. You might still need NTLM if your system is in a workgroup instead of a domain, or Windows Active Directory is not available, or if a non-Microsoft application or legacy software still requires NTLM, or for local logons on standalone machines. However, NTLM has major security weaknesses, and this is what exactly you need to know as a security engineer. See, NTLM sends password hashes over the network, which can be stolen and reused in pass the hash attacks. In this case, there is no mutual authentication, meaning users verify servers, but servers don't verify users. NTLM relies on domain controllers for authentication, which increase the risk of credential theft if a domain controller is compromised. Bottom line, NTLM is less secure. You should reduce its usage whenever possible by analyzing where it is used and replacing it with Kerberos authentication. Let's understand Kerberos authentication now. Kerberos is the modern default authentication protocol used in Windows Active Directory environments. It is more secure, efficient, and scalable than NTLM. How Kerberos works? A user logs into Windows and their device contacts the Key Distribution Center, known as KDC, which is built into the Active Directory domain controller. If the user is verified, the KDC issues a ticket granting ticket, which is known as TGT. When the user tries to access a resource, the device requests a service ticket from the KDC, and the service ticket is sent to the requested resource, which validates it and grants access. Why you should use Kerberos? See, there are a number of reasons. Using Kerberos, both the user and the server verify each other, which prevent man-in-the-middle attacks. No password hashes are sent over the network, which reduce the risk of credential theft. It provides single sign-on support. Users log in once and access multiple resources without re-entering credentials. Kerberos support more efficient authentication. Unlike NTLM, Kerberos uses session tickets instead of constant requests to a domain controller. It also supports delegated authentication, means services can act on behalf of a user without re-authenticating. If you are still relying on NTLM, it's a time to transition to Kerberos for better security and performance. As a security engineer, you should audit your network to see where NTLM is still used. You should migrate applications to support Kerberos authentication instead of NTLM. You should use group policy to enforce Kerberos as the default authentication method. And you should monitor and restrict NTLM usage using Microsoft security tools. Bottom line, by switching to Kerberos, you reduce security risk, improve authentication efficiency, and strengthen access control in your organization.